And joining the stream now, hello everyone, this is Commander Trium, joined by Commander Squaddle one more time.
Yeah, I just want poopy like a big boy in a potty.
Eska's on his way to Colonia, among other things.
Amongst being an asshat like normal.
And right now I'm going to use the web.
Harlot's Web?
Well, you folks stare at the map so I can find out on the Neutron Highway how many bloody jumps it'll take an anaconda to get out there.
Depends on your jump rate. Doing about 66.5. Take about 450, I think, is what it took me.
Yeah, well, right now as it's configured, my anaconda will take more than that because it only jumps 45.
Mine jumped about 41. So you could theoretically catch up to me, especially since I'm sitting there scanning system. Collecting data while I'm...
Maybe. Hang on. Neutron Highway. Brother. Let's just see what we find here. Come on. Chop, chop. Spanch. There it is. The Spanch router says our start system, let's assume that it'll be Shinwarta. Safe bet. Departing Shinwarta Desra at an efficiency of 25%, 45 light year range. Submit. Oh, we need a destination system, Colonia. Submit. Holy crap. Well, most of these jumps along the Neutron Highway are one jumpers to the next neutron star.
Yeah, kind of the whole point of using it.
At 45 light years, it estimates 186 jumps to Colonia from Shinwarta.
That's not counting getting to your first neutron. 20 jumps get.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are 186 jump segments, but you can add 10 onto that because there's 20 actually, just counting here quickly. So about 20 jumps extra, so it's about 210.
Yay! System scanned. I gotta go find the A1A. That one there.
Once you get past Nova Aquila number 3, you're past the, you're done your first 20 jumps. After that, it's all 1 and 2 jump links to the next neutron star all the way to Colonia. So,
okay. Yeah, copy and pasting in all those destinations is kind of tedious. I made a hotkey, so I just hit a button.
Yeah. If I take the efficiency up to 50%, let's just see if it changes all that substantially. No, it's about the same. So I don't know. I think it's about... I can add vias, so I can put waypoints between Nova Aquila number 3. Let's have a look at Nova Aquila. Computer Nova Aquila. You dumb cunt. Nova Aquila. Number 3. And there you are. You're quite a ways past, but you're exploring as well. The M20 sector, TUC 8B14-3. There are no astronomical phenomena close to you that I can see. No nebulas, no globular clusters. So the nearest nebula to you is the Lagoon Nebula, astral body M8.
Yeah, I'm going to the station. Heading towards the station there.
Okay. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you watched Battlestar Galactica, but that was one of the nebulas that they happened by en route to Earth. Ironically, that might mean that Colonia could be in the very region where the 12 colonies was. The Lagoon Nebula marked about the halfway point, as I recall. It was over 3,000 light years, 8,000 light years from Earth, I believe. Let's just have a quick peek here. The Lagoon Nebula. Oh yeah, it's 4,500 light years away. That's quite the, well, I don't know, 186 jumps really isn't that far. I could probably clear it in under a week, that's for sure.
If you really want to, you probably do it. I know I flew back from Colonia on the Neutron Highway. I did it in like 6 hours.
Yeah, I mean, an afternoon would be enough to do it, using the Neutron Highway. You're not far off the Neutron Highway either, so... You're on course for where you need to be. But you're not out of the sector yet. You're still in the inner Orion sector, I believe it's called. Inner Orion Spur, yeah.
It's the Dansky Class 1 gas.
You're approaching the Scutum Centaurus arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Yeah, you're still in the spur. Where the hell is the Sagittarius arm? I guess that must be it there. The one thing
this will actually tell me roughly how much these are worth. Gives me an idea. It says radius, gives me the radius, temperature, atmosphere, landable, geological activity.
Gravity?
Contains carbon, vanadium, niobium, polonium.
It should give you gravity. There's some other statistics there, like periapsis, orbital inclination.
Oh, I'm sure. If I make it bigger, I'm sure more.
I mean, there's all kinds of data about the
Mass, radius, distance from arrival, surface temp, volcanism, orbital period.
Yep, all that stuff.
Major axis, orbital eccentricity, orbital inclination, arc parallapsis.
Periapsis. But go to
axial tilt. It'll tell me all the fucking material.
Okay, then go to a star where you've never been and see if it'll tell you.
I'm in a system I've never been to until just now.
Well, once you're there, it's too late. Then you know everything. But it'll query EDSM as soon as you enter the system. But if you're not,
well, sure.
If you're not in the system, it doesn't query EDSM. That's my point. So if you want to query EDSM before you get to the system, you need my tool. That's one of the things it gives you. But it's also faster than that one and easier to navigate. I've tried to improve on the UI. Time will tell if it actually helps anyone.
Yeah, all I care is this one screen here I've got. It gives me all the different planets. Tells me whether it's terraformable. I'll take time to go scan it because I can make some money off of it, and that'll be good for trading in when I'm in cloning.
Why is terraformable so important?
They're worth more money when you turn them in for the data. You get a little more reputation.
Oh, I see. Well, anyway,
basically, faster rec.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to go. To do this properly, I would have to go get my other ship. Where the hell is it now? It's far away from where I am. I'm dealing with Haratani right now, trying to up my reputation with her up to level 5. I'm at level 4 now, so there's not much further to go. And then I can go get my Anaconda, and I'm just trying to figure out where the hell it left it. There's about 20 different star systems it could be in. See, the problem is when you get a fleet as large as ours, is that you lose track of ships after a while. It's like, where the hell did I put this fucking ship?
Well, you got that awesome little screen that tells you exactly where they're at.
Yeah.
You got a shipyard.
Yeah. Anyway, I found it. It's sitting in 61 Virginis. So I have my choice. I can go to Colonia, I can beat up Thargoids, I can go get some more fighter technology from the Guardians, I can... what else can I do? I got all the engineers I can, I think. Let's find out. Are there any engineers here? I need 50 units of decoded emission data. And then I can go visit Tina Fortuna at Akinar to improve limpets and scanners. Ooh, Marcia Hicks is be important. She wants 10 units of osmium. Okay, the only way to get osmium, though, is by entering Rocky...
Legacy mine pretty quick.
What's that?
Compared to... You can get it doing Legacy.
In the
Rocky... Probably some
in Rocky asteroids? Or Rocky...
yes.
Or ice ones. I think it's Rocky, but...
Probably.
Have to use prospector limpets in the fucking rocks. And then there's combat bonds with Colonel Decker in Earth, in Sol. And the rest are the crew of the engineers of the Colonia sector. Petra Ulmanova, Brew Tarquin, Etienne Dorn.
I've got Etienne Dorn ready. I got one of them.
Yeah, I haven't been to Colonia before, so I haven't got any of them, but let's see here. Celine Jean, hull reinforcement. No, we don't need that. I can get that up to level 5 now too, though, if I want. Oh, and shield boosters. At leasty. See, that's where I have to go after this. I have to go to leasty. Get my boosters boosted. Okay, and I wanted to get beam weapons enhanced. Who the hell does those?
Brew Tarquin does them. I got beam lasers pinned for you. He'll do all three types of lasers in grade 5 for all of them.
Yeah, I got some nice damage off those beam laser enhancements from, what's her name? No, not Heratani. One of the other ones. I think it's limpets, cannons, no. Is it Liz Ryder? No. I don't know. One of these fuckers, I got big frickin' boost to... Yeah, it was power systems. It was Heratani. And for some reason, her upgrades allowed me... Some of her upgrade options allow you to upgrade your weapons. I don't think it even matters which weapons you have, but I think they have to be some form of laser, either burst laser or beam laser. And then you can up the damage. But I could do it again if I got someone who's a specialist at beam weapons. And then my beam cannons would be second to none. They would
bet mine are better. I've got my beams on my Corvette already all class 5.
Yeah, mine are class 5 as well, but their damage output is up 30%.
Yeah.
And power availability is also up another 40%.
Yeah, my one Corvette's pretty well all it did almost a little bit I gotta do yet, but he'll kill shit pretty good.
Yeah, the last thing I have to do is have to have a specialist look at my beam weapons, and then I've got beam weapons that are better than yours and second to none.
No, they won't be better. They'll probably be better.
The same or better, then.
What did you put on them?
I don't know. I'd have to leave this screen and go to another one. I did something to them, though. Starport services, please. Damn hub. That damn hub! Here we are. Hard points, please. Flow control. Advanced software internal sensors regulate energy flow to output more efficiently. Power draw damage per second now up 45.3% off of baseline.
You put which one did you put on?
flow control and experimental enhancement and overcharged weapon class 3 on the beam lasers.
You put overcharged on it?
Yep.
You're gonna regret that.
Why?
It fucking generates heat fast.
And I've got heat compensators for that. And there's no experimental on the other one. I don't know why I didn't put an experimental on there, but I will find one. Yeah, I mean, I do have a heating problem, but I'm also fighting it, and I must say, I've made quite a few positive... Right now, the biggest source of heat on my ship is not the lasers. It's the Packhound missiles. Those things overload my heat like crazy. But I've also got 3 heat sinks, and it's just not a problem, really. Not one I don't know how to deal with, anyway. And in single battle combat, I can spend I spend tons of resources dealing with heat, but I can always build more heat sinks on the go. And most of the time, I have to go back to the base after a serious knockdown dragout anyway, because there's so much fucking damage done if I forget to use my shield boosters during the course of battle. Actually, I should get another shield booster. That is a good idea. Now that I have the energy for it. Can you put 2 shield boosters on?
Yes.
Fuck, you could... You know what? With those shield boosters, you could make yourself damn near impregnable.
Not necessarily. You can get a railgun with a parental on it. It'll nullify your shield boost.
Oh, really?
Or your, yeah.
I didn't know there was an experimental for that. Okay. Well, screw that idea, but it'll be near impregnable against everything else. Put enough of them on there. Just line your hull with shield boosters and just walk around. Don't have any weapons, just shield boosters. For some reason, they can't pierce your shields. They're just unshakable.
Feedback cascade. Rail slug energy charging mechanism designed to interfere with shield cell strikes to a target deploying a shield cell will damage shield cell bank and reduce shield restoration at the cost of reduced damage from smaller.
Yeah, but if you're running 20 banks of shield cells, it's only going to affect one of them. It's not going to take them all down.
You try to run more than one at a time, and you're going to have overheating.
That's true. How the fuck can you have overheating issues? You can generate fire hotter, 30 times hotter than the sun in your engines, but no, we have no way to fight heat. Everything catches fire. It doesn't make any fucking sense. We have fusion technology. The Taurus is now 600 times hotter than the sun. How do we stop fire again? Here, let's just see if I can fix this. We will take our power plant. No, we won't. We will take our beam... We have beam... Hey! Oh, wait. Okay, so if I didn't have overcharged weapon, what would you suggest I get?
Well, if you're going to duel me, you're going to want your over... But I guess I've built my ships for longevity when I go out to play in the Ezra.
You know, for all the good it does, you still end up limping back to the starbase if you get attacked by a Thargoid.
Well, I don't go play with Thargoids with my Corvette because Corvette's not.
Oh, you can configure Corvettes to fight Thargoids. It's possible.
I don't bother.
That's one of the things I was talking to Scorpius about the other night, actually. Engines, power plants, heat sink launchers, and shield generators. See my heat. Oh.
Well, it's funny.
Oh.
Just practice.
Oh.
Let's see, beam laser. I have efficient on both of them. Thermal shock.
Oh. If I have a few more proto-radiolic alloys, I could... I don't have very many. I've only got one left now after using a couple.
Rabbit.
I got as much of that as I'm gonna get. Oh, what the hell? I can't even remember where the hell I got my enhancements for my beam lasers from. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Why don't they tell you? Hang on a second, I gotta check with an hour again to find out where the hell, which engineer I got this from.
Go get out of there.
Apparently plague has broken out in New York.
What?
Plague? It's where you get sick and die from some disease.
I know what plague. Ooh, 2 terraformable plant. Oh.
Zachariah. Ooh. Etienne. No, Jerry Ishmack. Fuck's name. Power plant beam laser. Okay. The Dweller. It was probably the Dweller I got this from. But I know I got a boost somewhere else. Oh, flow control. There we are. So which one would you get? Concordant sequence, double braced, oversized. Oversized is another interesting one.
For your beam laser?
Yeah. Increased power draw is the consequence. Damage plus 3%.
You have overcharged right now.
I have the hell I have. We're in double brace flow control oversized. No. Regeneration, strip down, thermal conduit. Yeah, I have overcharged. And it's plus 30% on the first level, 40% second. Level 3 is plus 50%. 4 is 60%, and grade 5, 70%.
Is it fixed or gimbaled?
Gimbaled. And it'll carve you up like a roast. So I have grade 3 beam lasers.
I guess it depends on what you think you're going to do with those things.
Hurt people.
Well, the downside is your distributor draw is 35% increase, and your thermal load is a 15.
Well, no, it says here your thermal load. Okay.
If you got grade 5 beam.
Yeah.
Over.
At the level I'm at, it's only 9%, so it's not even that big. That's why I'm seeing the missiles do.
You got 2 of them. No, that's 8% increase and 50% distributor draw. That's
with 3 heat sinks. Tossing, each carrying a load of 3 or 4 heat sink replacements. So it's at least 12 heat sinks. And I only use about 6 of them during combat normally. There's lots of heat sinks. Really not a problem.
I don't know. I've got efficient on my beam.
You got efficient.
Grade 5, they do plus 24% damage. They negative 48% power draw, negative 45% distributor draw, negative 60% thermal load. So I can literally hold that trigger down non-stop and never run out of power, and I don't over.
And you don't overheat.
Nope.
There's got to be a downside to it, though.
I don't put out as much power as the overcharge. But if you remember when I was shooting you with my big beams on my Corvette Anaconda, as long as you're within range, I can hold those beams on you all day long. Nothing to do.
That's true, but with the Corvette, it's not the same thing. I have 3 times more shield strength on my Federal Corvette than I do on my Anaconda. So
I've dueled Corvettes that are built like pretty comparable to mine. They'll rip them down pretty. I dueled a Type 10 and ripped its shields down pretty. But I also have 7 fucking beams on that thing.
If you got a Corvette with thermal resistance, that wouldn't happen. Because
I haven't told you what my shields and hull are like on my Corvette.
No, but in theory, a thermal resistant craft should be able to withstand.
Let's put it this way: I'm not worried about your beam length. Even if you hit max them out to class 5, you're gonna have a hell of a time with my shields. Then hell of a time with the hull with too.
Well, I have a variety of different weapons. I've also got Guardian technology. I've got burst laser, and I've got missiles. I don't know what else I could throw at you. Everything in the kitchen sink.
my Corvette is set up for high resistance.
Well, so's mine. That's the idea. They're battleships. It's resistance against what?
Kinetic damage, explosive damage, and thermal.
Those are the three. You can't be protected against everything.
Actually, I've got pretty high resistances to everything.
Yeah, mine's over 50% in all three categories, but I'm talking about when you get thermal resistance above 90 or above, well, at least above 70.
You can get close to 70, but you can't get over 70. It's pretty much impossible.
Over 70.
Unless you're going to sacrifice the other two.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
You can't get all of them.
Obviously, you have to sacrifice somewhere. But I'm not going to, like, tailor a ship just to deal with you. Because it's too expensive. It costs, like, you know, 500 million credits just to, like, fight you. It's, like, not worth it. We're not going to...
500 million? And I've got 850 billion tied up in the mine.
750 million credits or more to, like, fight you properly is too much. It's just not worth it. I'll just run away and leave it at that. There is a law of diminishing returns that takes over at some point. You have to pick your battles.
My Corvette, as of right now, has the shield health is actually. The shield alone's got 63, or had, like a week ago before I did more upgrade to it, had 63% kinetic resistance, 29% thermal resistance, 69% explosive resistance. And that's actually what my defenses were that day you and I dueled. My armor was at 4,500. Kinetic resistance 38. 39%.
How did you get your armor? Did you take your armor up to class?
Thermal resistance is at 49.8%.
Yeah.
Explosive is at 37.
Did you take your armor up to grade 5 somewhere? Is that how you got 4,500? Because I'm trying to calculate how the hell you get 4,500 armor, and I can't cross the T.
Yes, it's grade. I'm pretty sure it's grade 5.
You must also have an experimental enhancement to get it that high. That's just stupidly high.
Well, of course. Actually, I think the armor's actually up to around 5,000. I like shields and armor both right around the 4,500 to 5,000 right now on my Corvette. You know, I played my cutter. My cutter's got 10,000.
I told Commander Scorpius about your stealth ship. He was hysterical about it. He thought that was the most hilarious thing he's ever heard of. Like 50 to 75 meters away, you're gone. You can't, unless you're looking directly at you, forget it. There's no sensor signature at all.
That is a nice little trick.
And it's just fucking run away. Yeah, he thought that was hysterical.
I can run at full throttle with silent running gate.
Odds are someone's going to enter combat, you'll engage stealth mode, and that's the last they'll see of you. There's not even going to be a fight because you're just going to disappear.
The downside, NPCs, even if you're in silent running, they can still target you and blow your ass up with other players. Silent running really only affects other command. Because I got interdicted in Shinrarta with my Corvette or my Anaconda the other day. I had a Orca jump in and start trying to ram me and a couple other ships. I just went silent running and changed the direction I was flying. And basically got away from them because once you hit silent running, if you're not overheating, I've got enough heat. I've literally got 8 heat sinking launches on my Anaconda right.
Okay.
So I mean, I can sit and pop them all day long. We got 24 of them, or no? Yeah, 24 of them.
Well, is it possible they were? Is it possible they were determining your vector using the game AI based on you ejecting these heat sinks?
Well, I only popped one right away, and then I just basically veered off in another direction.
And they still followed you. Okay.
Well, if it's the... Are you talking about other commanders when I got interdicted? Or
No,
talking
the
about
NPCs.
NPC?
Yeah.
The NPC, I don't know how they do it.
Well, they might not be affected by it. I mean, the NPCs cheat, which isn't very good.
The NPCs aren't affected by most experiment.
No, they aren't. But they're cheating, and that's one of the biggest. That's one of the bigger complaints that players have about the game is that the game AI can cheat, but ordinary players cannot. Like, there's no fucking way that a computer should be able to lock onto you once you're in stealth and once you're far enough away to reduce your emission signature to less than 0. So, at that point, the computer shouldn't be able to detect you, regardless of whether or not the server knows where you are. The actual ship that's attacking you should not. Neither should the Thargoids, incidentally.
Well, ED Discovery isn't keeping up to date. Shit. No.
Well, it can take a few minutes.
It's about 5 jumps behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't instantaneously. I mean, real time relative to. It still has to, don't forget, convert everything to JSON and send it up to the server to update what's going on. So, don't expect it to be instantaneous. It can't be. Not going through a third party like that. Plus, then, yeah, the third party EDSM or Inara, whichever one you're using, will then have to report your changes to the main game. Have to verify them with the game server. Once they're verified, they become part of the official record, and they will be reflected in the data, but not until that happens. Otherwise, you could just send bullshit data to Inara or EDSM, and they'd cheerfully go off, dum-da-dum-da-dum, okay, well, we'll just believe whatever you're telling us, and you could modify the JSON that you're sending them and with a text editor, and that would be the end of it.
Well, supposedly it's saying that this planet that I'm trying to go to is only 450 light seconds out, but I'm getting like something completely different.
Well, it might have to update it then. Or perhaps it's a different point in its orbit, or perhaps it... Don't forget, the orbits are elliptical, so they're not always 100% accurate. Okay, so in this system we have what? Oh, hang on. In our system we have the following. Oh dear, we're not in the right system. Okay, exit. Actually, we're going to switch ships. And we're going to upgrade the other one. And we're going to take it over to Haratani. I think, if we can. Hang on. I don't know which base I'm at here now. I have to be with the shipyard. Yep.
Big difference, huh? Guy at work. I didn't recognize him.
Oh, crap. Oh, that's no good. Hang on. We are going to go to advanced maintenance and remove all the limpets that we have accumulated. Because we don't need that many. 0, confirm. Actually, we will take 5. 10 limpets confirmed. Switch ships, please. Using ship. Has outstanding fines. Stand by while we try to correct the fine situation. We are in our Imperial Clipper. This doesn't make any sense. It says the ship has outstanding fines, but I can't see any fines anywhere. Going to livery and changing the holy shit, they added a few decals in. The prefect. Okay, front decal is Aisling Duval, no longer. It will be Felicia Winters of the Federation. Paint job updated. This is a mining ship right now.
Methane dwarf dog.
Fucking green flicker is back, and I don't know what causes it. I plugged in and unplugged my Oculus again. Doesn't seem to make a damn bit of difference. fucking useless goddamn interface. Pissing me off. And we're off. Launching. Departing Dam Hub, Imperial Clipper.
Detachment confirmed. Depart safely from the station.
Stand by here. Fucking Jesus H. Christ in a fucking hat.
This is a message to all commanders. Please reduce your speed. Landing gear attracted inside the docking bay.
What is wrong with this server tonight?
They don't like you?
Well, there's all kinds of errors all over the place. Approaching planetary outpost. The Jet's Hole, home to Haritani.
Alpha Romeo 0. Automated flight control protocol initiated. Please submit a request prior to landing. Docking permission authorized. You may proceed to landing pad 03.
I just love it when the android flies you into the side of his base when you're doing automated docking.
Docking procedure completed. Ship secured. Greetings, Commander.
Ship secured. Greetings, Commander. Oh! Commander Entrius has come online. And now, we will refuel. Electrochemical arrays. Okay.
What? Loki, down! Down! Loki, sit. Stay.
Well, I've got the engineer with the level 5 power plant upgrade now, so that's helpful. However, we must go back to get our Corvette and then head back to the Federation. By the way, how far can I run with this thing? "31 light years." It's the same as the Corvette.
Yeah.
Shit, shit, shit. Launching.
Ship released. Departure authorized. Automated flight control protocol now offline. Thank you, Commander. flight control protocol initiated. Please submit a request prior to landing.
Frameshift drive charging.
Simon Proctor, novice, a sidewinder, clean, HIP 14045, Independence. Let's kill him! Oh, he disappeared. I was gonna abrasion blaster him to death. Why does the interface aboard the Gudamaya spacecraft always look like a toilet? Like a high-tech toilet.
What does?
Like the dash in front of you when you're flying a Gudamaya spacecraft. You know, the round shape. It's very, very comfortable looking. Almost like it wants you to sit down and take a crap. You don't think so?
I don't know.
Ah, I'm being blinded again by the shiny interior on the toilet. I mean the console in front of me. Oh, it's Simon Proctor. Let's sneak up on him. And there's a mysterious eagle. A Viper. System Authority vessel. This one's a pirate. Jason Theobald. He's a communist pirate. Escorted by other communist pirates. Isn't the whole idea of a communist pirate kind of, I don't know, contradictory? Doesn't seem right. The faction they belong to is communist, but somehow they're still pirates. Automated docking sequence engaged, and once again we are confronted with the black interior of Dam Hub. What is with this blackened interior? I don't understand.
Landing gear deployed.
When you're near the door, you don't notice it as much, but flying into the station, you sure do.
We didn't shit you off.
Hey? What? Holy smokes. I'm running off the fucking solid state drive and it's still like just slow as molasses for some reason. Virginis 61. 61 Virginis, there we are. Conda 61 Virginis. You know what? That's pretty close to Shinrarta. Let's just go there. Let's see here. There are the Europeans. There's supposed to be a ship here. It's my Python and Crate Phantom are located at this other star. Beta 3 to Kani. And who in the hell is here? Beta 3, Beta 3, Beta 3. A Sarge! He talks with the same voice as Cedric Sneer. Where is he? The Scourge. Limpets and cannons are his specialty. What about Todd the Blaster McQuinn? And who's the other psychopath that we have working? The Dweller? Oh yeah, the Dweller. He's in the word system at 287 light years. Yes. Well, to visit Psychopath number 2, we have to travel 200 light years. It's quite a distance, but not too far. We pass very close to another engineer in the Eurabia system. Controlled by Denton Petraeus, who's got his dick up your ass, as I recall. Or is it your dick up his ass? I can't remember. Interstellar factors. And then we go to the word system. So we'll go to Eurobia and then the word system from there. We're also passing near the Thargoid front at this range. Alright then. And now we have to see who is nearest Eurobia. Yoo-hoo! There you go. Nearest one is Beta Kylie. 12 light years. That doesn't seem right.
That's because it's left.
No, it's just a fucking lie. Lloyd Port and Beta Kylie. 12.97 light years from Eurobia, it says, but it's full of shit. No, it's insisting. Lloyd Porton Beta Kylie. Oh, fuck off. Oh, come here, you scum-sucking shit. You're so full of shit. What the hell's going on? It won't add a bookmark now. Did they trim the number of bookmarks you're allowed to have again?
I have no idea. I've never hit the max, so I couldn't tell it.
Those fuckers have probably fucked around again. I'll piss on you, you scum fucking piece of shit. You mindless fucking hoe. California sector. This one's not even supposed to have a bookmark. BVYC7. I don't even have a bookmark there. It just put one there for me. It cheerfully fucking decides it's gonna do it all on its own. Oh man, let's go, come on. Come on, move. Manufactured. What in Christ's fucking name is this about? Kiss my ass!
No!
You
I don't know where it's at.
fucking ninny. Jesus, 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 this computer is pissing me off large tonight. Manufactured trader. Okay. Good. Holy sweet mother of fucking Christ. Okay, let's go. Launching.
Tacking coupler disengaged. Runway is cleared for departure.
We would like to remind all commanders to avoid blocking access to docking pads during arrival and departure. Frameshift drive charging.
You are now clear of station perimeter. Safe travels, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging.
Is he actually straight or is he gay?
He hooks up with the white bear.
Does he? Another 10 minutes, he should probably walk it.
Basic Kylie. Welcome to the Beta Kylie system.
Landing gear deployed.
Contact confirmed. Deactivating docking systems. Station facilities are at your disposal.
Boy, that's a weird one.
This is a flight regulations reminder. Please do not obstruct the access corridor during arrival or departure. We would like to welcome all pilots to this starport. Be sure to check station services for any updates and enjoy your stay.
My CPU seems to be pinned for some reason. It's not clear why. But you know what? I'm gonna find out right now.
Ah, son of a bitch.
RAM's at 88%, which is fine. I think I just need a more powerful PC. It's just all there is to it. I end up getting a stupid job. I'm supposed to have another meeting on Friday now. See, this is one of these things I hate about employers. They say, oh, well, we'll just draft an offer and send it off to you. And then they suddenly have second thoughts. You know, they go away from the meeting and suddenly the whole process changes and you have no idea what's going on. They want to make sure you're the right candidate. So they're still considering whether or not they're going to hire me, but I'm not going to wait around for them forever either. I've turned down 2 contracts because of this interview process already. I'm not going to turn down another one. Oh, it's the driver again. Fucking NVIDIA. Always with them, it's the driver. Oh, we just have one more thing we want to update. So we've decided in the middle of your fucking game to like make it necessary for you to download and reinstall the drivers for your video card again. By the way, while this is happening, nothing will work. Sorry about that.
That's why you need to tell it to do it during off-peak hour.
You can't with NVIDIA. It doesn't let you.
I've got mine set so that it has to have me outlet to go.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Microsoft, first of all, that feature belongs to Microsoft, and NVIDIA doesn't always tell Microsoft when they've updated something. So you got that problem. But apart from that, NVIDIA doesn't let you set up when to download the drivers. So you need a third-party tool to do that. I'm already running like 5 or 6 other processes just to keep the fucking system running within acceptable limits. I mean, I can run the VR in ultra mode, but it's annoying that it takes so freaking long to do the simplest goddamn things in this stupid computer. Like, look at this right now. The disk drive is spinning away. Yeah. I've got it defragging every bloody night. It's not good enough. Nope. You run Discord, you run Streamlabs OBS, and you run Elite all at the same time, which I always do. And by the way, that's another reason I don't like talking through Discord, is because it's yet another process I have to load. It's not very efficient.
Yeah, I can't stay listening to the in-game comms. All the background noise.
Yeah, and you don't have VR either, so in order to comply with the needs of your inferior system, I have to step down and deal with flashing screens and all sorts of other mayhem.
In order to maintain smooth traffic flow, please follow standard operating procedures and request docking permission before entering the starport. Security services will respond to aggressive actions. We ask pilots to stow their weapons while inside the docking bay.
GPU only runs at 9% right now. CPU load is the OVR server, which is running through the Elite driver, which is running through all this other garbage.
Security surveillance is in effect at this facility at all
Unbelievable.
times. Acts of violence will be met with an appropriate
How about you give me what I'm asking you for instead of sitting there monkeying around with some aspect of the process I don't need, don't want, and don't care about?
This is a flight regulation announcement. Please
I'll piss on you, you skank!
within the time limit and refrain from obstructing other areas. Security
You
services will
fucker.
respond to aggressive actions. We ask pilots to stow their weapons while inside the docking bay.
Process GPU.
Pilots, be aware that flight controllers are in operation at this starport. Please obey speed restrictions and fly safely.
Holy screaming.
We would like to extend a warm
I haven't seen
welcome to all visitors. Please ensure you complete docking procedures within the allocated time. appropriate response.
Hi, I'm at.
Warmly welcome all new arrivals to this facility and wish a safe journey to all departures.
Come on, you monkey's mumpin' fucking cunt! Piss on you, you rotten lump of shit! You miserable fuck!
All pilots to this starport. Be sure to check station services for any updates and enjoy your stay. Please ensure you
Oh, man.
before entering the docking bay. All access initiated.
Hurry the fuck up.
Remind all commanders to avoid blocking access to landing pads during arrival and departure.
I ran into a brown dwarf
To keep docking
wheel.
traffic flowing smoothly, we request that pilots avoid blocking access to landing pads.
Download.
This is an important announcement. Security surveillance is in effect at this facility at all times. Acts of violence will be met with an appropriate response.
Ooch.
Well, they're trying to fucking optimize it for Battlefield 5.
Pilots, please show consideration
Isn't that
for
just a
passengers.
joy?
Slow down and maintain a reasonable distance from other ships inside this dock.
How about you move your ass?
Welcome to this independent starport. We urge all visitors to utilize our full range of services, and we hope you have a productive stay at our facility.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go for ray tracing. I don't really need it, but... How about you move the way I'm telling you to? Piss off! What the fuck is going on here? Oh my god. Ugh.
Hi, Dad. Hi, boy.
Yeah, it's Facebook and Oculus. They're having a shit fit here. Why is Facebook even involved with Oculus is my next question. They cannot get that thing to work properly. They just can't. It's not in them. They don't know what they're doing with the technology, and it's just getting more and more botched every time they go anywhere near it. Look at this, it's just pinned. Come on. Do you even know what you're doing? No.
This is an important announcement. Security surveillance is in effect at this facility at all times. Acts of violence will be met with an appropriate response.
Ay, 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 ay.
Request that pilots avoid blocking access to landing pads. We would like to welcome all pilots to this starboard. Be sure to check station services for any updates and enjoy your stay. This is a flight regulations reminder. Please do not obstruct the access corridor during arrival or departure. This is a flight regulation announcement. Please proceed to land on your assigned docking pad within the time limit and refrain from obstructing other areas.
March 25th. Okay.
In order to maintain smooth traffic flow, please follow standard operating procedures and request docking permission before entering the starboard.
Earth to NVIDIA.
Not permitted. We thank commanders for their cooperation.
That would mean now. Yeah, that would still mean now.
This station offers a wide range of services. Check your information panel after docking for more details. Docking bay access is bi-directional. Please use the designated lanes when entering and exiting the station. Pilots, be aware that flight controllers are in operation at this starport. Please obey speed restrictions and fly safely. Please be aware of traffic within the station and give priority to larger ships as you approach your landing pad. Access to docking facilities requires flight control authorization. Please submit a request before entering the docking bay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My goodness. My goodness.
Please do not obstruct the access corridor during arrival or departure. Pilots who cannot complete landing procedures within the time limit must exit the bay and submit a new docking request. In order to maintain smooth traffic flow, please follow standard operating procedures and request docking permission before entering the starport. Please ensure you have received authorization before entering the docking bay. If you do not have access permission, exit the facility immediately.
Oh, Lord.
This is an important announcement. Security surveillance is in effect at this facility at all times. Acts of violence will be met by appropriate response. This is a flight regulation announcement. Please proceed to land under assigned docking
Well, I have no idea.
and refrain from obstructing other areas. Security services will respond to aggressive actions. We ask pilots to stow their weapons while inside the docking bay.
Oh, yeah.
We would like to extend a warm welcome to all visitors. Please ensure you complete docking procedures within the allocated time.
And we need Material trader.
To ensure safety within the station, be considerate of other vessels when passing through the main access corridor.
Nope.
Pilots who cannot complete landing procedures within the time limit must exit the bay and submit a new docking request. Welcome to all visitors. Please disembark at your assigned landing pad, and thank you for choosing this facility. Please obey speed restrictions and fly safely. Welcome to all visitors. Please disembark at your assigned landing pad, and thank you for choosing this facility. Aggressive behavior in or around the starboard is not permitted. We thank commanders for their cooperation.
You still there?
We would like to extend a warm welcome to all visitors.
Whoa.
Ensure you complete docking procedures within the allocated time.
Not sure, but I think we just lost our internet link. We've got a large number of drop packets here, but
Please do not obstruct the access
according to
corridor
this, we're
for
still
arrival
online.
or departure. Pilots who
However, it looks like we are completely screwed out of the game at the moment due to some sort of weird bug, so we will be right back. And we are back. In theory. I want to take a look at improvised components and a couple of other things. Holy smokers. We're not downloading anything or doing anything. Something's gone haywire with the server by the looks of it. Could we please have contacts? Contacts! I don't know what's going on. But this is interesting. There we go. We do need some of these. I don't know where the hell we're gonna get anything useful from them. Oh yeah, that one's an easy one. Give up our composites for improvised components, which are absolutely useless everywhere else in the whole game. You can't have 1,296 heat-resistant ceramics on hand. Ay, 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 ay. Well, it looks like we've thoroughly screwed. We have nothing else to trade. Continuing our journey, then. Eurobia sector coming up. Laying the course for the Eurovia system.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hello?
There they are.
Yeah, so the third icon from the left at the top is going to give you the social menu.
Oh, there we go.
And then if you go down to where it says
Options.
Commander Trium, you'll see, and then you click on Commander Trium and you'll see a send a direct message, so you can send me a text message that way. But you can also send voice, you can also open a comm channel, provided we're close to one another, if we're not in each other's friends list. Otherwise, we can talk across the galaxy at that point. I could be in...
I've done that before. I play in VR, so I don't use the mouse.
No, I play in VR as well.
Right on. Yeah, and it's, you're the first commander I've ever talked to.
Oh. Well, I do it all the time, but I've also got friends that I hang with. I know some of the players who produce videos and whatnot online. I write software for the game. I'm heavily invested in Elite Dangerous, you might say.
Right on. That's actually very awesome.
Well, so much for my social life.
Back on the Commodore 64, but I actually bought it just to play Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, no, I did the same. I played on the C64. I played on the Apple C64, the Amiga with Elite 2 Frontier, then Elite First Encounters. And when I heard this project was kicking off under crowdfunding, I got all excited, and I waited a little while to join up until there was VR support, and then VR support came. I played console for a couple months, but I got bored again, so... And then I heard VR got supported, so I went out, spent $800, got my Oculus headset, and never looked back. Now I live inside this universe. I've actually fallen asleep with my VR headset on and woken up.
That's awesome.
In the game, and just kind of wondered, what the hell, where am I? How'd I get in here?
That's really living the game. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play when I can, but, there's never enough time.
Oh, no. No, most of the people who, like, live and breathe this stuff, they go to work, if they have a job even. Some of the players don't have jobs, like, I don't know how exactly, but different people with different walks of life. Some of them own houses or have property or just independently wealthy. Others who are not work for a living. And generally have the money to buy the equipment, so they do well. They tend to be older as well. That's the other thing about the crowd, is that it's in you got a player mass between age 30 and 50. That's pretty.
That's right. That's where I fall. So.
Yeah. And that's because of the game being released in 1984 and everyone having a big wet dream about having a game exactly like this back then.
Yes, exactly. This really does. I mean, this is like every single time I play. Like, I'm just running around right now just engineering a mining ship.
Yeah.
But it's so fun. Like, just flying around and landing at stations and stuff. I mean, all of it is this wish fulfillment from when I was a child, and it's all fun for me all the time.
So what did you think when you saw a Corvette turn around and then start following you?
That's the thing. So I saw you turn around, or I didn't really see you.
No, you won't.
In Super Cruise?
No, it's faster than light travel, so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see you there, and then when I was landing on the planet, I saw you were coming in, I was like, okay, well, he's going to the engineer. And then when we both popped out, and I was coming into the land, he turned into a triangle, right? I saw it on, like, I don't know, the hard points out. Like, I'm thinking, he's got a Corvette, is this guy really going to just blast me while I'm...
No, I had the hard points armed because I targeted your drives and had you locked on with Class 4 enhanced beam weaponry. And you don't have those. Believe me, you can't run them, and you won't be able to run them for a while. But this ship is the closest thing you can get to a capital ship in the game without on the Federation side, without getting into the Farragut class battle cruisers and whatnot.
Yeah. That's why I kind of floored it and mussed my landing a little bit, because I thought, well, I better get down there.
No, I just don't know. I don't know what your intentions are. Like, I didn't hear anything out of you, and too often I've had players try to gank me in open mode, and even Federal Corvettes. I mean, if I don't turn around and do something in advance, like well enough in advance, then it's a problem. So, yeah, I went all pointy on you and kind of got my hard points out and ready to fight. But I wasn't going to shoot at you until I knew you were going to pose a threat. And then as soon as you didn't pose a threat and you were safely on the base, I was like, okay, well, he's not going to do anything stupid. So, because the other thing is, it says your ranking is mostly harmless. Mine comes up as elite, but for you, I'm sure it does come up as elite, or does it?
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see.
I'm twice elite.
Actually, it shows expert on here.
Yeah, that's my combat ranking. So your combat ranking, I'm elite explorer, elite trade, and expert with like 95% expert. Hang on. I'm not even sure how good an expert I am. 91% expert. So I'm right on the cusp between expert and dangerous. As soon as I get to dangerous, I think it's dangerous then elite, or it's dangerous master then elite.
Dangerous and deadly then elite.
Then elite. Okay, so there's two more ranks.
I was expert before I reset my commander. My first 2 weeks of playtime were on a different commander that I reset after this last update. I decided to then play for like a year, and I thought, you know, I'm just gonna start a new guy.
Okay. So you're not really mostly harmless.
Like, I'm gonna play it open. Yeah. Well, my expert ranking was, you know, fighting like high res and stuff. It wasn't. I mean, I'm not good at combat by any means, but I want to learn, you know, some FL combat and stuff like that.
Well, what guides you in this game being good in combat is your equipment. I mean, some of it is skill, yes, but mostly it's how much do you outclass the other player's ship. And it's difficult to know, like, what experimental upgrades and what works against what else. There are so many counters to so many different enhancements that you can get that no fight is guaranteed. Although in your case with the Asp Explorer, I could rip your shields down probably in under 5 seconds with my twin cannons. Yeah, no, they'd be gone in under 5 seconds, probably under 3 actually. So, I mean,
honestly, I don't really want to get, like, I'm not into PvP at all. I just want to be able to stay on target, you know, and fight in the combat zone without feeling like I can only get 1 or 2 kills and I gotta get out of there.
Yeah, and then after your shields are gone, what have I got? Well, I've got twin pack-hound missiles that are just loaded to the tits with, you know, with ammunition. So you now you've got missiles coming at you that you can't evade. So you're not getting it. You're not getting away. So I mean, but there are people with, like, you know, ridiculous amounts of armor that will take, you know, barrage after barrage after barrage of pack-hound missiles, and they're just impossible. Like with I have a friend who's now off in Colonia. But he has a ship with 5,000 armor. His Imperial cutter is like almost indestructible. It's even bigger than the Federal Corvette. Its mass signature is larger, but it's I'm not sure. Like, it's very slow, and the cutter, the Corvette has a little bit of a maneuverability edge, but I don't know. It's a toss-up between the two of them, really. There's not that much difference. The Majestic battle cruiser, on the other hand, on their capital ship side, on their warfare side of things, the Farragut almost always, in any scenario you see on YouTube where they engage the Majestic. The Majestic battlecruiser never seems to win. And that's because the Farragut is engineered. It has about 500 more crew than the Majestic. And the weapons ports it has are more numerous and they're more powerful. And they also don't waste energy on gravity. As soon as the ship goes into combat status, it doesn't they shut the gravity off. You have to use mag boots in order to walk around the ship. So they've got it in a different energy configuration, whereas the Majestic is more like a floating hotel that does battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm more of a PvEer, but I like the idea of being open, but I've watched some of the guides and stuff. I really want to build a ship that's capable of getting away.
Yeah.
And not, min-max and leave myself open to the gankers, and so.
Yeah.
So, I try to have good situational awareness. I'm always, trying to be aware of the player in the system with me, what's he doing, And not this happened yet. It's only been about a week on this commander.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's plenty of time to improve. So you had another commander before this, so do you have 2 accounts or just the one?
I actually have 2 accounts. I have another account that I play with, just with one of my friends in a private group, because he...
Oh, really? Okay.
Flying games and sims and everything. But on this time, I had another commander that I reset, that I started, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I've already I think, surpassed where I was with that guy, just because the first thing I did was went on a 5,000 light year exploration, mission when I got my hauler, because I was going to want to unlock Palin, and
yeah.
I didn't realize how much more money you earn from exploration. I figured I'd get back here and have like 20 mil, and it was more like 10 times that.
Yeah, no, you get a lot more money if you scan systems. Like once you're elite, it's irrelevant. You don't get you can get money, but you don't get any credit or any bonus or anything for running around. Like the sense of achievement just isn't the same. So I don't know. I kind of gave up on exploration, although I did give some consideration at the beginning of this session to following my buddy out to Colonia. I found out that I could get out there in 186 jumps with my Anaconda. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll marshal all my ships. I'll move them all to Shinrarta Desra, and then we'll just use that as our base. The only problem is we've also got a Thargoid front moving through the Empire right now, and I don't know if they're going to attack Akinar, and I don't know if one of their fleets is going to break off and attack Sol. If it attacks Sol, I'd like to be back here to deal with the Thargoids and stop them from invading Earth.
Yeah, I actually that's probably the next thing I do once I get the engineers unlocked. I want to build an AX class ship and do some Thargoid hunting and see how that's.
Yeah, the Thargoids got a lot tougher than they were, a year ago. They've upgraded them, and there's 2 new classes since a year ago. There's 2 new classes of interceptor: a Basilisk class and a Medusa. And the Medusa has got talk about pointy. I mean, that thing's got points on every point around its circumference. And to make matters worse, there's a theory floating around that the barnacles, they actually are growing Thargoid capital ships. That may be their purpose, because they use them to repair their ships, yes, but there's way more barnacles than there need to be, and for the fleet that they've sent in, which is already devastating enough. And if they actually put them together, and harvested them all into one super ship, they could have a planet-wrecking type of establishment, which is not something you'd want to see. kind of a Death Star type of thing coming out of the ends of each of the pylons at the end of the Thargoid craft around the circumference, and then zap, and then boom, the planet goes away, or is chopped to rubble, or turns into an asteroid field or something. So there's that to worry about coming up. But before 2020, the next two things I think we're going to see are the Federation story is about to kick off. If you were here, if you left a year ago, I don't know if you caught the Salome lore, the Salome story.
Not much of the lore. I mean, I know a little bit about the story. I saw the event and kind of what happened, but I don't know a lot about the lore behind it.
Yeah, well, we've crossed the 1 million mark in player count in the game last year. So there were like tens of thousands of commanders that were all attacking Salome and trying to for some reason, and trying to capitalize on her excommunication from the Imperium. And so eventually she was killed off. But that was the part of the story that this author named Drew Wagar, who's got some notoriety online, he also did a video recently about Raxla, which I've been paying very close attention to. And part of the reason I'm writing...
I've been reading about that lately.
Well, I'm writing a tool. Remember that tool he described in his video? Like, he wished that there were a way to do searches of individual star systems throughout the galaxy, throughout the 35 systems, and elsewhere in the galaxy for that matter, but primarily in the 35 systems that he listed. Well, someone built an Excel spreadsheet to contain all the systems, so with some statistical information. So what I did is I wrote a tool that reads that Excel file, or any Excel file, reads column number A in the Excel spreadsheet and collects all the names of all the star systems it finds in column A. In other words, these 35 star systems go into the tool, and then I query the EDSM API. This is programming lingo, but I query EDSM's data and pull all the information about these star systems out. And he mentioned planet number 8 orbiting being somehow important, and in that data there's a segment of data, a block of data that I found where there's an anomaly. And I haven't been to the system in question just yet. I'm on my way by there now. I'm going to use my Anaconda to go in because it's multi-purpose, and I don't know what I'm going to find. It's completely unknown. So anyway, I'm going to use the Anaconda. I'll go visit that star, go to planet 8, take a look around and see if I can see anything. Unfortunately, it might be the planet. What I think is there, what the data is telling me, there's an invisible planet there.
Oh, wow.
Planet number 30.
Now, is it a planet or a moon? I thought I read.
It's a moon.
The 8th moon.
Yeah, it's not. It's the it was the moon of the 8th planet.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Right? So there's a planet somewhere, planet number 8, and there's a moon. Now, the moon in question is between orbits A and B around this particular world. Now, I don't know if that conforms to his information. It doesn't really matter as long as it's close enough. And this is pretty darn close, so I'm going to go and see what's there. It is the only place anywhere in any of the data I have explored so far where this anomaly occurs. And it wouldn't be in there by accident. There's something going on. Like, it's as if someone put deliberately a section of data to contain something, but there's nothing. Except the number 33. That's all that's there.
Yeah, I hope it's it, because that's the thing, man. I've been reading a lot of the Raxla stuff and thinking, man, I hope somebody finds it. I think it would be really cool for someone to get to the bottom, or at least to the start of that mystery.
Well, I don't think it is Raxla, but I think it might be a clue. And I want to go see if the clue is... Because, I mean, I still don't... Despite what Drew said, I don't believe that Raxla is actually in the bubble. I think it's probably in the Formidine somewhere. There's nothing written that says it has to be. I just believe that it is because that's where the Thargoids are coming from, and the Thargoids, unless they're moving directly from the Andromeda Galaxy here through intergalactic space, there's really no other way that I can see that they would easily get here, even with their more better understanding of hyperspatial drive, unless they have an intergalactic hyperdrive, which is entirely possible, but we have never even heard of that technology. So it's kind of a big question mark. The only other way that there could be, I'm one of the subscribers of the gate theory, kind of like a Stargate, where there's like a big circular ring or something, and you fly your ship through it, and poof, you appear in the Andromeda Galaxy, which is twice the size of this one. But it conforms to all the lore and stories that we've heard about, oh, it's another dimension filled with stars and riches and blah, 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 blah. Well, that may be nice, but anywhere there's stars is the universe, and anywhere you have stars there's probably a galaxy. So it's not some fantasy dimension that just, oozes treasure or something. But I don't think that would be realistic. But regardless,
with the spirit of this game, I don't feel like.
No, but at the other hand, the other thing is, like, although I'm a software developer, part of I had a long time ago, I gave some thought to, I live in Canada, and in Halifax, Nova Scotia, there happens to be a software shop that is owned by Frontier. And some of the people there might they might be on the Elite project. There's a couple of other projects, but that's one of I think that's their main North American outlet. I don't know why Halifax, God only knows, but they picked Halifax, so now they're there. And I thought about working for them there, and then I thought, well, that's kind of like getting access to the crown jewels and going and, I mean, I couldn't be an ordinary player anymore. Then I'd be, bound by NDAs and things, and I thought, this is not really the way I want this to go. So there's lots of software companies. There's lots of different software companies I can work for, and I'm sure it'll all work out fine if I just do what I'm doing. So I decided not to, and then when I ripped this apart and got this data out of the API from EDSM, I was like, well, okay, now I feel like I'm cheating almost, or hacking the game or something, because I've got access to data that the ordinary person can't, they wouldn't understand. They just, if you're not a software developer, you're not going to get it. Unless I tell you.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's, like I feel like, I don't know, because, like, one of the reasons I use third-party tools and I go online and stuff like that is because I feel like, I mean, to me that's part of the game, right? Like, your commander would do that stuff in their off time, and they have Galnet, and they have all this, so you would have those tools as a commander to be able to research that stuff, and just because you sort of have a skill set that not everyone else has, I don't feel like that's, I don't even know how meta I would consider that.
Well, a lot of people who play Elite are software developers. There's a pretty keen interest in awareness of astronomy amongst software developers for some reason. I guess we're just all like scientists at heart or something. So we're all like, into this. I mean, tomorrow they have got a freaking picture. I couldn't believe this morning. They've got a picture of Sag A. Holy crap! They've cobbled together a picture out of radio interferometry. I could not believe it. 11 radio telescopes worldwide involved in this project.
I'm actually anxious for that reveal tomorrow. I want to see it.
Because there's so much. I mean, we'll be able to see. I saw some of the preview images, the low-res ones, and there is an accretion disk around it. Like, it's so exciting. You're just like, holy shit. This is, like, going to be so cool when we get, like, a high-res version of this. Because you'll also see the FTL particle streams from the North and South Pole, right? And there are particles in there that are, probably dark energy or some manifestation of dark matter and dark energy or dark energy that could be going faster than light. They're escaping a black hole after all. That's not supposed to be possible. So how the hell You know, it's just so it's there's.
To me, that's the key, right? Is once you see that something is possible, because I think, because I was a physics major for a while, and I think one of the things to me is like science is all about possibilities, but I've met so many, you know, physicists who have these sort of blocks of, oh, this isn't possible, and to me it just takes being able to see that it's possible, and then suddenly you realize.
Well, I myself hate. Yeah, I hate betting against Einstein, and I won't. But then again, Einstein was only talking about atomic masses greater than number one or greater, right?
And Einstein's equations all break down at the speed of light, right? They become nonsense. They start involving imaginary numbers and stuff. And so to me, it's like all it takes is someone to refine his equations. I mean, it's not about proving them wrong. It's just
no, it's a refinement.
Like
Yeah.
Newton, right? We still use Newton stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Because we still use Newton for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's simpler, simpler than using, you know, grand unification theory to describe, you know, okay, what's the accelerate? No, we don't have to use that to calculate Earth's acceleration coefficient. We know it's 9 point. You know, like you can just figure it out. You know, mass equals, you know, force times acceleration. So it's
of the variables like reduced to infinitesimal amounts. I mean, they're so small that they don't create a legible difference in it. You know, to any sort of, you know, realistic you know, number of decimals. But I don't know. I feel like that's the answer. I feel like there's so much out there. I feel like it's not that Einstein's wrong. I feel like somebody's going to take his stuff and refine it even more and explain some of the things that we know are out there and we know are happening, but we just sort of don't have any.
Well, I know he didn't. He didn't like quantum mechanics, and he didn't like it because it was too Aristotelian in his mind. You were describing phenomenon using, you know, the equivalent of, you know, an astroglabe, or what is it, you know, and it describes accurately the orbits of the planets and the motions in the sky and everything, but it's not really telling you what the hell's really going on, right? So he thought quantum mechanics was much the same. Like, yes, all the calculations work out. That's all very nice. You still have no idea where this is coming from. You know, he could see that gravity. I mean, what kind of mind is this? He could see that gravity was an integral force in the universe, and he saw things in terms of disruptions in a gravity field as opposed to just, you know, a solid object made of rock or whatever, right? To him, a marble that the size of, you know, New York City having the same mass as Betelgeuse, you know, a red giant star, 600 light years away, that to him made instantaneous sense, that in a way it would never make sense to an ordinary human being. Just because he, right? And especially at his day. Nowadays, now that we've been shown to think this way, of course, you know, of course, this is how the universe works. But
but that's the thing, right? It took him to sort of define that for us, and how incredible is that? That
I know.
You can trace a lot of this stuff back. You know, a lot of our understanding. I mean, even the layman has an understanding of the universe that was unthinkable back in Einstein.
There are a few very imaginative physicists that have come up with some really cockamamie ideas about how, I mean, there's nothing below subatomic, right? So, like, once you get to the subatomic, there really is nothing. We're talking about one-dimensional objects or entities that. So, I mean, the very fabric of the universe itself is what we're trying to understand now, and how it all fits together and how you get matter. And there's string theory and M theory and this theory and that theory, and I'm sure we'll figure out someday how it all goes together. But a big clue will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern when they finally produce this image. It's going to stir up so much imagination. Never mind the science behind it. Never mind the raw data. There'll be that there too, but for all the science geeks. But but it's just going to be something that it will stir mankind's imagination in a way it hasn't been stirred up in a long, long time.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, it's funny, I hadn't even heard anything about it until last Wednesday.
Yeah.
I saw something about it, and I was like, how did this sneak up on me?
Well, I didn't hear about it until this morning, and finally some of the part of my job is actually to monitor the media where I am working right now. So I'm writing media monitoring tools. So I have to capture news stories on the wire, online, and so forth, and feed them into a system and publish them on an internal website for the Defense Department. So so that all the ministers and deputy ministers and this bureaucrat and that can get access to all the same information and have it ready for them. There's even talk about possibly someday taking this same system, and moving, or some variant of it, and moving it into the House of Commons, and having stories appear during We have something here. You're an American, right? I imagine, based on your accent. There's a in the House of Commons, what you don't get in Congress is a question period, right? So your politicians are not exposed to a daily questioning from opposition members. Here, and in Great Britain they call it question time. In Canada it's called question period. It's the same thing. What ends up happening is the opposition benches get to ask the government questions about policies and events of the day for 1 hour of the House's time. So every day the Prime Minister is the leader of the official opposition gets up in the House of Commons and says, about this scandal involving SNC-Lavalin, or this corporation that did dealings in Libya with Gaddafi and all these other terrible things. Why is the government trying to exempt them from prosecution under Canada's laws, and blah 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 stuff that Trump would never get away with because he'd be constantly exposed to the. It's just one of the advantages of our system. I mean, Americans, I was very impressed with the checks and balances, not to say that I'm not. Canada has fewer checks and balances, but one of the checks we have against the government is at least we can speak out against it, and at least we can have our leader of the opposition stand up and, on national television and dress down the Prime Minister periodically when he's got it coming. Not that he does in that particular case that I mentioned, but that's a whole other debate. At least it's possible for that kind of question to be asked. Anyway, so when they're responding to questions, they don't know everything, these ministers, right? The front benches are members of the cabinet. In the United States, they're appointees of the president who occupy offices. Some of them have to be confirmed by the Senate. In Canada, none of them have to be confirmed by the Senate, although that's gradually changing, but they all sit in the House of Commons. It's basically an unwritten rule. It's a constitutional convention that if you're going to be a minister in the cabinet, if you're going to be a minister of the Crown, you have to be sitting in the House of Commons and ready to accept questions like the Prime Minister from opposition benches, exposed to that same level of critique and due process. So the ministers don't know everything that's going on in their departments. Some of these departments are very, very large. They employ thousands of people. Defense is among them. When the defense minister gets asked, and what about Canada's F-35 commitments? When are we finally going to see some fighters on the ground? What's the holdup? Well, he can at least consult the media and see what the media is saying about it. Why is that important? Because there might be secrets that he's not supposed to be telling the entire public at any particular point in time. He wants to know what the news media has already said about it, if there's any leaks or other pertinent information, and it can appear on the screen using my software.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, so that's exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And I'm thinking about leaving the job right now. I'm actually applied for another one because they don't pay me enough. But I'm being paid considerably more to potentially work somewhere else. But this other job is going to be working more with cloud technologies. It's a better move for me career-wise. In the meantime, in my off hours, I developed this other piece of software for Elite, and hopefully I can get the thing driving through all the data. You'll be allowed, for example, to select a sphere of stars. I mean, the 35 star systems I mentioned. You can load an Excel spreadsheet, or you can type in your own custom list of star systems that you're interested in. Or, more than likely, this is what most people will do, I imagine, they'll type in the name of a star system that they're near in their ship, and then they'll say, okay, within 500 light years of here, I want to see every star. And then they'll be able to click on each one of those stars. The list will appear, and then they'll click on each one of those stars, see all the planets, and if they need data on the planets, they'll be able to drill right into it by clicking on the planet in tree view on the right-hand side, where I've got the tree view placed. And that way they can see the configuration of the star system at a glance. They can tell if it's an Earth-type world, terrestrial planet, gas giant with rings or without. They can find out what the rings are composed of, rocky entities or ice bodies. They can tell everything. It's an EDSM. They'll be able to find out right away. And hopefully using that tool.
Very cool, actually.
So this is what Drew was talking about when he said he wanted to have this tool be available. Now there is another tool called eDiscovery you may have heard of. I don't know. But it kind of interfaces within our it's much more sophisticated than what I'm working on, but it doesn't. One thing it doesn't do is it doesn't tell you about systems you have never been to and don't know about. I wanted to be able to go in and look at systems that someone had been to before or had reported on, or where EDSM personnel had collected data from, and be able to have that reflected in the game, rather than just, what I know as a pilot.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Plus, there's another aspect. These people that are working on, like, Turgeon Starstone. I don't know if you know any of these names, but Commander Scorpius, Commander Turgeon, they produce YouTube videos with character animation. So the avatar, they have like a little show that they produce every couple weeks, and they're supposed to be kind of humorous, right? English sense of humor. What can I tell you? But they're interesting sometimes. Sometimes they're kind of suspenseful and dramatic. Other times they're just funny, right? And you get into them and you look at what Turgeon's up to, and he has a creepy uncle who's just hilarious. This guy, whenever he shows up, I find him riotously funny. He keeps calling Turgeon dear boy and stuff. It's just hilarious. Anyway, so you get into Turgeon's life in his alter ego, and the last episode was about Distant Worlds 2. I would type in CMDR Trium in YouTube to have a look at these videos.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it for sure.
And he's
just T-U-R-G?
T-U-R-J-A-N. Turgeon. Commander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that he has said that he wants is he wants a tool like this to be able to tell him where there is some cool looking scenery to take shots of, to use as backdrop for his episodes. So maybe something with a twin star system and a planet that's, a nice hot Jupiter that's orbiting right in, a few kilometers away from the star, on the brink of like crashing into it. Something like that. So I have to provide data for this thing to do that. So in a few weeks' time, hopefully I'll be able to. It's my part-time project. Hopefully I'll be able to get it done. Anyway, I had to brag about that to you, and I'm bragging about it to everyone, so sorry about that.
That's okay. That's very cool. And, you know, we should be able to brag about those kind of things, I think.
Well, why were you gone for a year? Tell me about that.
I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. It wasn't like a year straight. I mean, I was on off and on a little bit here and there.
Okay.
But I moved out of my apartment. Somebody bought the building and then just kicked everyone out, and so
I'm having that happen right now. The current landlord has thrown everyone out. I have to be out of here by June 1st.
Yeah, it was. I got a 5-day eviction notice.
That should be illegal.
It is illegal. Yeah, I called them and I was like, that's not the end of the month, so I expect a refund. And they're like, oh no, you can have till the end of the month. And I'm like, you can't do this. But here's the thing: if you're gonna do this, I don't want to live here anyway. And so I moved in with my sister, which worked out perfect because then, because my dad, it turns out, had ALS, so we went and moved him here. So we were all kind of living in the same place to be able to take care of him, which worked out really well.
Oh, okay, good.
And then I got a new job and bought a house and that kind of stuff. So just a lot of stuff going on that made it so Elite was, just gaming in general was sort of off of my...
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's generally been a winter activity, I find, but, I mean, summer tends to kind of wane a little bit. Maybe not this summer, but go on.
Other stuff going on. But I was going to get back into it in, after I moved to my house, which was August, September time frame. It was probably October, November. I rebuilt my computer, upgraded everything, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm totally going to get back into it. And then they were right in the middle of Chapter 4, and I was reading all the stuff, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to wait until that hit drops before I start, and I'm just going to restart. So I actually spent a month sitting on my hands, anxiously waiting for the update so that I could start playing again.
Well, it was always there for you. But these extra stories that are coming out, like Drew Wag... Yeah. So Drew Wagar's story is the Imperial story, was where I was going with that. It's over with now, of course.
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second here.
Okay.
So now that you're on my friends list and we're friends, I can jump to another system, right, and not lose you?
Yeah, go ahead. That's one of the reasons I did it, because I'm getting ready to leave for a different system.
Okay.
I just lost it here. I was going through the map. Anyway, but we just finished the so the Imperial story's gone, right? Now they've announced that they're not doing major development in advance of 2020. Rationale? They didn't put it like this, but basically in the gaming industry, nothing's happening till third quarter of 2020. None of the consoles are coming out with VR, anything. And Star Citizen will not go profit, will not start entering the black until then. And there is a certain level of competition between Star Citizen and Elite, even though they're two completely different games. So, but there's enough contest between them. I mean, I will start playing Star Citizen at some point. I've said that. It just isn't right now. And the other problem I have with Star Citizen is that it's, well, I don't like being charged for ships, but not without value behind them. And until I see that value there and not, like, filled with bugs in a very finite universe with, like, 2 star systems and, 6 planets or something, until I see more.
Exactly.
I mean, there is a galaxy.
Exactly the same way.
There is a galaxy supposedly coming to Star Citizen, so I'd like to see some of that innovation happen before I start committing myself to playing it to any significant degree. And I don't think that means that I'm going to leave Elite behind. If Elite somehow managed to get Space Legs running before 2022, I suspect I could come back to Elite and spend 100% of my time here. But The next version of the Oculus as well is relevant. There's no wire attaching you to your computer in the next version, so the next version of Oculus will have just the headset. That's it. It'll map your room for you, and you'll be able to go where you're supposed to. It will know where you are in the room.
It'll be a variant on the Quest. It'll probably be like it'll have probably some kind of combination Quest and Rift S, with the technological upgrade and the wireless capability.
Yeah, I mean, the one problem I have with it, of course, is that Facebook is behind the Oculus now, and I don't like that. I mean, the performance has started to suffer a little bit since Facebook took over, so I'm not as pro Oculus as I once was when they were independent of Facebook. If we're very lucky, Facebook will divest its... What's that?
One of the things for me is I want to know what their plan is for brand loyalty. I mean, right now, if they release a new headset, along with everyone else releasing new headsets, why would I take Oculus? That's the part I'm wondering how they're going to tackle is how are they going to keep sort of brand loyalty? I mean, I understand the stuff in the Oculus Store is going to but I don't have that stuff.
Yeah, they're...
If I'm going to upgrade my headset, I'm going to try them and see which one I like the best, you know?
Yeah, they are making some other upgrades. So going up to 8K, they're going to offer, no doubt, a certain amount of new tracking abilities so they can see what you're looking at and watching. They may try in-game ads or in-session ads. I don't know. Facebook's original... I'm not even sure why Facebook got involved with Oculus. Oculus makes its money completely off hardware, or at least it originally did. So as a hardware company, Facebook is not a hardware company. It's a software company. And now it's turned itself into some kind of hardware entity as well, and I don't get it. And why would you wouldn't experiment with something like that? Being, it's not their core competency. Is basically where I'm going with this. So until they've demonstrated they've got some. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Until they've demonstrated a certain amount of commitment and competency with the hardware aspect, I'm not going to be too faithful to them. I could theoretically go to another platform, but then again, I haven't seen any of the other wireless platforms. I mean, I've seen the ones with the backpack and stuff. I'm not interested in the stupid backpack. I just want the helmet, you know. And I want my resolution. I want all my colors, and I want it to not flicker, on and off green like the Oculus seems to like doing. Periodically under periods of load, but that might be Elite's fault. I don't know. According to my process manager, it's the Oculus server.
Yeah, I don't get. I do get a watching out coverage occasionally, but that only seems to happen when I have tracking issues.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by the green flicker. It comes up, it washes out most of the color, but it's not a real black and white. It's kind of green tinted. So at least it is in my headset, and it was in the other one. I had another headset before this one. It was the exact same phenomenon. Now this could be due to my computer. I'm running a GTX 970 NVIDIA. Now, I am getting a major computer upgrade fairly soon, both because the company I may end up working for is buying me a new computer, and they're paying me a lot more money, so I'll be able to afford my own new computer as well. So I'm looking at possibly going the route of buying an i9, which is the next version processor, so that I can have my cake and eat it too, with Windows all over the place, and And solid state drives, measure in the 1 to 5 terabyte range. I haven't decided what yet.
Yeah. Right on.
Rasmussen star system. Never been there. We're going there now, though.
I'm at the Dweller. I've got one more engineer visit, and then I'm...
Oh, I'm actually headed exactly where you are. I'm going right to the word system.
Yeah, I'm beside the land here, Black Hide.
What's that?
I'm coming to land at Black Hide. Oh, and I dropped you soon.
Well, that's where that psychopath is, isn't it?
What's that? Yep.
That's where that psychopath, the Dweller, is, isn't it? Isn't he?
Yeah.
He is a psychopath, though. He's into weapons. There's him, and there's the Blaster. Ted the Blaster McQuinn, or whatever his name is.
McQuinn, yeah.
Yeah, he's another psycho. Anyway, I used to think Ramta was a bit of a psycho too, but he's been cast differently by Frontier, so not a psycho anymore. Now he's into science and Thargoid killing and whatnot. Bug splat.
Yeah, just the Xeno stuff.
Be there in just a moment.
But yeah, I look forward to the next generation of VR stuff for sure.
Well, it'll happen before we get the next version of Elite will likely contain such features as atmospheres around inhabited planets that will allow you to enter, and gas giants, which you used to be able to fly through as well, and collect fuel.
What time you can fly through gas giants?
In Elite 2 Frontier and Elite First Encounters.
Oh, gotcha.
So you started at the moon Merlin, orbiting the gas giant Aster. I think it was in the Ross 158 system, or maybe 128, or something like that. One of the Ross systems, at any rate. Now I have to find it. Oh, the Black Hide, yes. It's over there. Get it!
It's very close.
Yes, which is good because this system is probably filled with pirates. Like usual.
One layer when I got here.
It's either pirates or gankers.
Yeah, I tend to assume every other player I see is hostile until otherwise, just like you. I think that's the appropriate way to...
Oh, you get a target lock on them right away, then lock onto one of their systems so that when you enter battle, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, I typically will watch what they're doing, and occasionally I'll see them.
Yeah, but going all pointy on the thing does not mean that. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily getting ready to kill them, because you can still be FTL. Your hard points won't deploy in FTL, and or under FSD.
If they deploy a FSD disruptor, the interdictor, if they deploy the interdictor, they'll go pointy.
Okay. I wonder if they go pointy if they target.
What's that say again?
I wonder if they go pointy if you just target them and start locking onto their systems.
No, it's only if you deploy, because the interdictor actually deploys during super cruise, and so that's what lets you know, I think the manifest scanner does the same thing. So if you decide to do a manifest scan, you'll go point on them. But I've seen. I had one player do that and start a maneuver to get behind me, and I just slowed down and dropped out of Super Cruise and then boosted away and jumped to my next destination. So I didn't get to sort of see what his intentions were, but
probably doesn't look friendly. I mean, I didn't lock onto you with FSD interdictor for two reasons. One, I wasn't interested in interdicting you, and number, you're not strong enough. Number two, the other thing I don't carry an FSD interdictor right now. I've got it set aside for the fuel scoop. Although I could ditch one of my other systems, I don't really need half the systems I got on this thing. Like, there are a lot of systems on this ship. Oh!
Lots of slots on one of those.
Oh yeah, you have lots. Especially
to play the interdiction game from the aggressor side.
well, I mean, all that happens is you need to have a fairly high class interdiction system, because if you don't, they can escape. And even with the high class, like with the highest you can get is class 4, even with a class 4 interdictor, you're still going to be required to exercise a certain amount of skill in order to get your quarry. And then once you have them interdicted, you don't actually have to shoot at them, right? So you can just interdict them and stop them in space, and sometimes the system authorities do that anyway. So they're not necessarily hostile just because. And if you shoot at them and they're not hostile, then you're gonna get bounty.
Yeah, exactly. And I've made that mistake in a couple of resource extraction sites. Like right when I got there, I accidentally tagged a cop too many times. Suddenly I've got a $200 fine or bounty unwanted, and then I've got to leave. It's probably a waste of time when that happens, but it is, what am I looking for? This is an amazing view right here. That star and that planet.
You know what? My ship is trying to land on top of a dolphin.
Oh.
I really hate this when this happens. It's most irritating.
I see you there. I've actually have yet to experience that. Can you nudge him out of the way?
Hang on. No, he's landed, so I mean I can't really. Hang on, I gotta get out of this. Cancel the docking, please. Hang on, I gotta exit the game. One moment.
Alright.
I'm about to get to Yeah, I was about to get shot by the base. I had to leave the game quickly. I hate bugs like that. Really, really bother me. Okay, joining the game again. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I've read about it. I've yet to experience it, fortunately, because that seems...
Well, I'm doing a recording right now, so after I publish it, you should go to twitter.com/commander_trium, that's CMDR_trium, and you will get my Twitter page, which contains all the videos that are pertinent to me.
Oh, actually, let's see, I don't have a Twitter account, But
Quest denied. Stand by. Stand by. We are in trouble here.
oh,
I can't land. I may have to go to interstellar factors.
oh, did it give you
It gave me a
a bounty or just a fine?
unknown. Granted me a docking permission.
You may proceed to landing pad 05.
Now cleared me for a empty pad finally. So that was really stupid. And yes, I've heard of that error before and had it happen once before, but I didn't get stuck on the pad alongside this other.
You stuck on the pad?
Yeah, because my landing gear is down.
Oh, because, you know, from my view, excuse me, I could see your nose was pointed down towards the pad, but you weren't on the pad.
Yeah, well, it wasn't letting me leave. I was just kind of stuck. And now it's happening again. The computer is having trouble landing me on the pad. And if it does it wrong again, I'm